My dear friends, have you ever paused to wonder about the roots of our humanity? Imagine for a moment that the blood coursing through your veins carries whispers of a story far older than any we have known, a tale not merely of Earth but of the stars. Today, I invite you to journey with me into a mystery that challenges the very foundations of what we believe about our origins. There is a tale, ancient and bold, that speaks of a lost world called Mu, a civilization some claim to be the cradle of all humanity. Could it be true? Could our beginnings be woven with threads from a realm beyond our own? Let us walk together with open hearts and discerning minds to uncover the truth of this enigma. As we begin, let us consider the whispers of the past, preserved not in stone but in the sacred memory of those who came before us. In the 19th century, a man named Augustus Le Plongeon, a seeker of truth, stood among the ancient ruins of the Mayan people. His heart burned with the question, where did these magnificent civilizations arise? Guided by the spirit of wisdom, he studied their texts, their carvings, and their stories. And there, amidst the echoes of a forgotten tongue, he uncovered a name, Mu. Le Plongeon believed this was no mere myth, but a lost continent, a mother to all civilizations, swallowed by the sea in a time beyond memory. His claim was bold, even radical, for he dared to suggest that the roots of Egypt, of Mesopotamia, of all we hold dear, stretched back to this vanished world. Yet, without tangible proof, his voice was but a cry in the wilderness, and the world turned away. But the spirit of truth does not rest. Years later, another soul, James Churchward, felt the call to seek what had been lost. A soldier in India, he found himself in the presence of a holy man, a priest who guarded secrets older than the hills. In a moment of divine providence, this priest revealed stone tablets etched with a language unknown to the world, the Nagamaya tongue, understood by only a few. Churchward, moved by a sacred duty, vowed to learn this language and preserve the tablet's message. What he discovered would shake the foundations of history. The tablets spoke of Mu not as a fable, but as a living reality, a land where humanity first drew breath. They told of a civilization that flourished 50,000 years ago, a paradise of 64 million souls united under one faith, one governance, thriving in harmony with the Creator's design. Can you imagine such a place, my friends? A world where the human spirit soared, untouched by division, radiant with purpose? Let us ponder this vision of Mu as Churchward described it. Picture a vast continent in the Pacific Ocean stretching from the Marianas to Easter Island, from Hawaii to Mangaya, a land larger than South America, teeming with life. Its rivers flowed like veins of silver, its hills rose in majesty, its plains bloomed with abundance. The people of Mu, called the Nakal, were no ordinary race. Churchward wrote that they were a people of profound wisdom, their culture surpassing our own in many ways. They built 7 great cities, their knowledge reaching across continents, planting seeds of civilization in distant lands. Yet, this was no mere earthly kingdom. The tablets hinted at something more, a divine spark, a connection to a wisdom that seemed to transcend the human. Could it be, dear ones, that the Nakal were touched by a presence beyond our world? Let us hold this question gently as we continue our journey. As we reflect on these ancient words, we must ask, what became of this radiant civilization? Churchward's account is both wondrous and sorrowful. He claimed that 12,000 years ago, Mu met a cataclysmic end. In a single night, earthquakes roared, volcanoes wept fire, and the land was consumed by the abyss. The Pacific Ocean, vast and unyielding, claimed Mu, leaving only whispers in its wake. How could such a marvel vanish so completely? The heart aches at the thought of 64 million souls lost to the deep. Yet, Churchward insisted this was no mere tale, but a truth etched in the tablets, a warning and a promise for those who would listen. But where's the proof, you may ask? Where are the stones that bear this story? The world, in its skepticism, demanded evidence, and Churchward's tablets remained unseen, a mystery within a mystery. Yet, the spirit moves in unexpected ways. As the years passed, others began to find echoes of Mu. William Niven, a seeker of hidden truths, unearthed tablets in Mexico inscribed with a language strikingly similar to the Nagamaya. Churchward, called upon to interpret, declared them relics of Mu's legacy. And then there are the wonders beneath the Pacific, structures too precise to be the work of nature alone. Consider the moai of Easter Island, those silent sentinels of stone, towering over the landscape. Carved with unearthly precision, their oversized heads and legless forms speak of a people who knew more than we can fathom. The Rapa Nui, their builders, claimed these statues honored ancestors from a time long past. Could those ancestors have walked the plains of Mu? Could their knowledge, their artistry, be a remnant of a lost mother civilization? Let us carry these questions forward, trusting that the truth will reveal itself in time. My dear friends, as we stand in awe of the Moai statues, those silent witnesses of a forgotten age, let us broaden our gaze to other wonders that whisper of Mu's legacy. Across the earth, from the sands of Egypt to the jungles of Mexico, from the plains of China to the shores of the Pacific, there stand structures that defy time, pyramids, monuments, and sacred sites, all bearing a curious resemblance. How can it be that civilizations, separated by oceans and millennia, crafted such similar marvels? The Great Pyramid of Giza, aligned with the precision that humbles modern engineers, shares its geometric soul with the pyramids of Teotihuacan, built thousands of years later. And what of the Shanxi pyramids in China, older than Egypt's, yet echoing the same sacred blueprint? These are not mere coincidences, but threads in a tapestry woven by a single hand. Could that hand belong to Mu, the mother civilization whose children carried her wisdom to the corners of the world? Imagine for a moment the Nakal people fleeing the ruin of their homeland, bearing with them the secrets of their craft. As they settled in distant lands, they raised stones to honor their lost paradise, embedding in each pyramid and each temple the memory of Mu. Some scholars propose an even bolder thought. These structures were not mere tombs or shrines, but energy hubs crafted with a technology so advanced it eludes our understanding. The precision of their alignment, the choice of their materials, volcanic tuff, granite, limestone, all suggest a knowledge that surpasses the tools of their time. My friends, let us ponder this with humility. What if these monuments are the last echoes of a civilization that touched the divine? What if Mu's legacy is not only in stone, but in the very spirit of human endeavor, urging us to seek, to build, to aspire? Yet, as we marvel at these wonders, a deeper question stirs within us. Who were the people of Mu? Were they like us, born of earth, or did their origins reach beyond the stars? The tablets of churchwords speak of the Nakal as a race of extraordinary wisdom, guided by divine rulers whose knowledge seemed to transcend the human. This brings us to a theory both wondrous and unsettling, the ancient astronaut hypothesis. Across the world, ancient texts sing of celestial beings who descended to shape humanity's path. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, heavenly creators of mankind. The Mayans, in their Popol Vuh, told of sky gods who fashioned man from clay. The Hindu Vedas describe the Manas, divine crafts piloted by gods. These are not mere stories, my friends, but echoes of a truth that challenges our understanding. Could Mu have been the first sanctuary of these visitors, a place where heaven and earth entwined? Let us hold this thought with reverence, for it asks us to consider a possibility that humbles the heart. What if the Nakal were not merely human, but a hybrid race born of an encounter between earthly souls and celestial beings? Ancient texts often speak of divine beings mingling with humanity, guiding, teaching, perhaps even creating. Could such an encounter have occurred in Mu, giving rise to a civilization of unparalleled advancement? The tablets describe the Nakal as masters of astronomy, language, and architecture, feats that seem impossible for a primitive people. And yet, if this is true, it raises a question that pierces the soul. Why would such a civilization vanish? Why would a people so blessed, so enlightened, be lost to the deep? Let us approach this mystery with courage, trusting that the spirit of truth will guide us. The story of Mu's end, as told by Churchward, is one of both tragedy and mystery. He claimed that 12,000 years ago, the earth convulsed in fury, earthquakes tore the land asunder, volcanoes roared, and Mu sank beneath the Pacific's embrace. In a single night, a civilization of 64 million souls was no more, its cities swallowed, its wisdom buried. But the world, in its wisdom, has questioned this tale. Where are the tablets that tell this story? Why have no other eyes beheld them? Geologists, too, raised their voices, declaring that no continent could sink so swiftly, so completely. The Pacific Ocean, mapped with care, shows no trace of a lost landmass. Plate tectonics, the dance of the Earth's crust, denies the possibility of such a cataclysm. And yet, the heart wonders, could there be truth hidden within this tale, veiled by time and misunderstanding? Consider, my friends, the skepticism of scholars who challenge Churchward's claims. Linguists argue that the languages of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Mesoamerica grew independently with no shared root in a Pacific homeland. Geneticists find no trace of a common ancestor linking these peoples to a lost continent. The Nakal tablets, the cornerstone of Churchward's story, remain unseen, their existence unverified. To many, Mu is but a dream, a fable born of human longing for a golden age. Yet, even in this doubt, there is a spark of hope. For across the world, cultures speak of a lost homeland, a paradise submerged by the sea. From the flood myths of the Bible to the tales of Atlantis, from the legends of Sundaland to the memories of Doggerland, humanity clings to the idea of a world that was and is no more. Could Mu be the seed of these stories, a truth distorted by the mists of time? My dear friends, as we stand at the crossroads of faith and reason, let us consider a gentler path through the mystery of Mu. What if the tale of this lost continent is not a fabrication, but a misinterpretation of truths half-remembered? Scholars, in their search for clarity, propose that Mu may not have been a vast landmass in the Pacific, but a reflection of real places and events veiled by the passage of time. One such theory points to Sundaland, a great region of Southeast Asia that flourished during the last ice age. Some 12,000 years ago, as the ice melted and the seas rose, much of Sundaland was claimed by the waters, its people scattered, its stories carried on the winds. Could this be the Mu of Churchward's tablets, a paradise lost not to a single night's cataclysm, but to the slow embrace of the sea? Let us also reflect on the words of Augustus Le Plongeon, whose heart first heard the name of Mu in the Mayan texts. Some researchers suggest he may have misunderstood these ancient writings, seeing a continent where there was only a symbol, a sacred place, perhaps, or a mythic homeland. The cataclysm Churchward described with its earthquakes and volcanic fury might echo real events, but not on the scale he imagined. Consider Doggerland, a land bridge in Europe submerged by rising waters, or the flooding of ancient coastal cities. These are not mere legends, but memories of loss woven into the fabric of human storytelling. Could Mu be such a memory, a tapestry of truths from many lands, mistaken for a single, sunken world? In this light, the story of Mu becomes not a puzzle to solve, but a mirror reflecting our longing for origins, for connection, for meaning. As we near the end of our journey, let us pause to ask, what does the tale of Mu teach us about ourselves? Whether it was a continent, a region, or a myth, the idea of Mu stirs something deep within us, a yearning to know who we are, where we began, and what lies beyond the veil of time. The pyramids, the moai, the ancient texts, all these speak of a humanity that has always sought the divine, always reached for the stars. If Mu existed, whether as a civilization or an ideal, it reminds us that our ancestors were dreamers, builders, seekers of truth. And if, as some suggest, their story touches the celestial, it invites us to wonder, are we, too, part of a greater design woven into the cosmos by a creator whose love knows no bounds? The question of Mu's people, whether human, hybrid, or touched by the divine, challenges us to look within. The ancient texts, from the Anunnaki to the sky gods, speak of a humanity shaped by forces beyond our understanding. Yet, as people of faith, we know that all truth leads back to the one who made us. Whether Mu was a cradle of civilization or a story born of human hope, it calls us to humility, to awe, to gratitude for the mystery of our existence. My friends, we may never hold the tablets of Mu, nor walk its fabled plains, but we carry its legacy in our hearts, the courage to question, the wisdom to listen, the faith to trust that all things are held in the hands of the divine. And so, we come to the end of this tale, not with answers, but with an invitation. What do you believe about Mu, this lost world that haunts our imagination? Was it the mother of all civilizations, a bridge between earth and heaven, or a dream born of our deepest desires? I ask you, my dear friends, to share your thoughts, your reflections, your stories. Let us build a community of seekers united by our love for truth and our wonder at the mysteries of creation. If this journey has stirred your soul, leave a like to honor the quest we have shared. Subscribe to this channel that we may walk together again, exploring the hidden corners of our past. And share this video with those you love so that they too may ponder the enigma of Mu. Until we meet again, keep your hearts open, your minds alive, and your spirits ever seeking the light of truth. May peace be with you always.